Good evening. I'm not sure that the first link was opening or streaming properly, so this is the second link for anyone who was anticipating to join me at 7 p.m. CST Central Time. I'm Heather, and this is your 7 p.m. Yin to unwind from the day. And I'll give a moment here for anyone to type into the chat, making any requests tonight. Tonight's props will be recommended, not required, 2 blocks, 1 bolster, or 2 pillows. 2 pillows will help to create a more sturdy sense of a bolster, and blankets or towels are nice as well. Again, props are not required, always welcome. And tonight's sequence will be embracing spring, some hips, twists, neck releases, and side bends, stimulating the organs associated with spring, gallbladder, and liver. And this will be full body essentially. We'll go ahead and begin in a comfortable seat. Let yourself land, sitting upright, allowing yourself to arrive, maybe elevated on a prop if you like. Let the eyes fall heavy, and just noticing how you arrive, noticing any sensation standing out in the body, and perhaps absence of sensation. Noticing if you're leaning far forward, back, left, or right, and gently drawing yourself to center. Roll the shoulders back, let the palms slide over the thighs or the knees, finding a tall spine here. Drawing attention inward to the breath, noticing how you're breathing tonight without changing a thing, just observing. Going into neck releases, we'll drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Stay here or send the left hand out to the side on tented fingertips, finding an anchor. And the palm can come all the way down to the ground towards the mid thigh if you'd rather. Drawing the left shoulder away from the left ear. Relaxed here, letting go of effort. And the goal is not to have the ear touch the shoulder, but to create elongation and release on the left side of the neck. Relaxing here, so much so perhaps you begin to drool. And only 2 people have told me that they've drooled so far, so no shame. Really letting this be a place of comfort. And slowly, we'll send the right palm up overhead. Place it just above your left ear. Little self assist here, guiding the right ear closer to the right shoulder, relaxing the left hand. And perhaps here you feel sensation increase, radiating all the way down shoulder to the fingertips, releasing tension from the day. And keeping the breath natural. On your next inhale, press your head into your hand to come upright. Release your palm. Finding a slow, steady gaze, we'll look over the left shoulder. Maybe the eyes stay closed. And guiding the gaze, the face back to center. Head turns right, slow, steady, no motion. Coming back to center, drop your chin into your chest, roll it out here, finding some half circles. Really gentle movement here, nice and slow. Perhaps you linger anywhere along the way that feels good to you. Slowly making our way to the other side. Left ear falls over left shoulder. Hang heavy here, or perhaps you find that anchor, sending the right hand out to the side on tented fingertips. Or the palm may come all the way down to the ground, sliding towards the mid thigh. Relaxing the grip of the hand, feeling the head heavy here, jaw soft. Sensation on the right side of the neck, boosting oxygen to the brain. And releasing tension that we tend to build and carry. Slowly send your left palm up overhead. Place the palm just above the right ear. Same, different side. Noticing the difference side to side. Little bit of pressure here, nothing too forceful, just a self assist guiding left ear closer to left shoulder. Letting the day go. This can feel like a slow burn in a good way. Inhaling, press your head into your hand to come upright. Release your palm, hands over your thighs or knees. We'll find that owl-like slow, steady no, looking over one shoulder. Guiding the face back to center and then turning over the other shoulder. Rolling it out here, drop your chin into your chest and roll out the neck a few times, just any direction, intuitive motion. We'll gently make our way to a supported or unsupported child's pose, balasana. Option to also take this on your back. So here we'll uncross the ankles if they're crossed. Option for knees together, big toes touching, hips over the heels, palms sliding forward. Forehead comes down to the earth. And here you might find on your way down that you would like something underneath your head and your torso, a pillow or a bolster, blanket or a block are all nice options. You will feel the length of your spine nice and long and maybe something just under the head. So here you will feel if you'd like to soften, if there's any discomfort in the shoulders, maybe you elevate the arms, sending the pillow wide underneath the elbows and the forehead, giving a little bit of height. And feeling gravity anchor you down, checking in with the knees. You're welcome to put a blanket on top of the calves or always under the knees if it's tender. Folding the blanket to 2 to 3 inches thick or even to 6 inches if you like. Underneath the thighs, on top of the calves, taking flexion out of the knees. So sending as many props to support your practice to places that are tender or you'd like a little less flexion. Settling in. And if knees are out wide, you might feel the hips beginning to open, the head and the heart closer to the earth. And the option for your back, I'll demo each one of these, is to simply come onto the back, draw your knees into your chest, and if you would like to hold your shins with your arms, you're welcome to, keeping a soft grip, letting go of effort here. Shoulders are grounded. A little bit of compression. And for full surrender, you may take a blanket or a towel on top of the shins, just enough here that you can fold it underneath the calves. It'll help create a little weight, little gravity sensation here on top, and the hands may relax by your sides. So here, you'll feel the spine releasing, feeling gravity guide you into the posture, and coming into silence here, observing how we meet silence tonight, observing thoughts as they come and go like passing clouds, not chasing, not reacting, observing without strong reaction, and observing without escapism. Wherever you are in your shape, take a deep inhale and a deep clearing exhale. At any time in your practice, a child's pose or balasana variation serves as an alternate posture. While it is known as a resting posture, it can also feel very active. Any variation that we just explored is a beautiful option as an alternate to any posture that we take tonight. Knowing that that is available to you, and keeping it in your toolbox for other days in your practice. And gently, if you're on your back, we'll remove any prop or blanket you may have used, rolling to the side to come up onto the shins. And if you're in your child's pose on your knees, you'll gently roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming to sit on your shins. Sitting on the shins here, we'll tuck the toes. You might rock a little bit forward onto the fingertips. Tuck the toes underneath you, sitting up on the heels. Spread the fingers between the toes. So spreading the toes wide here. Separating the toes if they stack or stick together, and spreading out the toes on the ground. This one can feel fiery and awakening, supporting full alignment of the body. And if this feels quite intense right now, you're welcome to rock forward, palms down, and just lift the feet off a little bit. I do encourage you to stay with it longer than you think you can. Not forcing, just allowing a slow release, steady release. Witnessing our strength and stillness, how calm and natural and smooth the breath is. If you notice you're holding your breath, gently come out of the posture and ensure you're still breathing, taking that deep inhale and clearing exhale. All together, we'll now come forward on the hands and knees, untuck the toes. You're welcome to tap out the feet if you like. Sitting on the heels. We'll get into the ankles here. So having fingers by the mid-thigh area tented, we'll float the knees 2 to 3 inches, pressing through the tops of the feet. And if you feel okay here, you might float the knees a little higher, just feeling the sensation in the feet. You can find a little balance if you like, hands at heart center, or perhaps you take a mudra. We won't hold this one as long. And slowly lowering the hands down, lower the knees. And we'll send the feet out to the side. Send your right leg long, sole of the left foot to your right inner thigh. This is a little twist and fold we're about to take. Head will come over the knee. You're welcome to find a deep bend in the right leg and the right knee, or a micro bend or the leg flat down to the ground. So just checking in with the sits bones nice and anchored. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist and fold over the lengthened leg, forehead towards your knee. And here you might have your forehead at your knee and then slowly begin to send the heel further away from you, finding your edge, feeling the release in the low back and the hamstring, and relaxing into it. If your forehead comes to your knee quite easily, send that right heel further away from you. And palms may be stacked under the calf, keeping that soft bend in the knee. If you feel you want to stay more upright, a nice option can be to have a prop against your foot and your head resting on the prop. If you feel dizzy, I encourage you to keep your head above your heart throughout the practice. We're folding forward and then moving up and down throughout the hour may aggravate any sense of dizziness or vertigo. You can always have a stack of pillows on your thigh. Finding your depth of comfort here, and it's okay to round your spine. This is a really nice release for anyone at a computer for a long time or driving for a long time. Not worrying about what it looks like, just enjoying the journey, the sensation. Slowly roll up on an inhale. Take a little twist over the bent knee. And staying here, right palm to your left thigh, reach the left arm overhead, side bend here. So getting into the side body. Crown of the head reaching towards the top of your right foot. Option to come all the way down, head to your knee. Maybe you capture your foot, and if you capture naturally, drawing the heart forward, shoulder back, and keeping it restful. Left knee stays anchored. On your way down, if you feel you're hanging or the neck has sensation that becomes intense, feel free to set up a prop, or coming up a little higher, you can bend that right knee. You can relax your head here, arm relaxing overhead. Or you can put props on top to just bring the support higher up, and adding as many props as you like, maybe an elbow on top of a pillow and then a fist. And one last option here that I'll offer is the bolster on the outside of your leg, under your armpit, and maybe you just arc over to the right. And you can have as many pillows or cushions stacked to find support, customizing the height, and settling into the variation you've chosen. Keeping with the breath, nice and natural. And witnessing if the breath begins to waver or become shallow. Maybe a sign to come up a little more upright, letting go of tension anywhere you feel it may be building, letting it be a place of release. Allowing yourself to soften, letting go of effort. Letting any movement adjustments you make be deliberate. Slowly inhaling, come on up. We'll send the left leg long, sole of the right foot to your inner thigh. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale, twist and fold over the lengthened leg. And here, maybe this side feels a little different. Again, you can have a deep bend in the knee, maybe a micro bend with palms stacked under your calf, or the leg flat to the ground. You can always put a blanket or a towel under the knee as well, just keeping a soft bend. And round spine here, nice relaxed fold. Right knee stays grounded. Remembering you can always come up higher, add on, or take away as the posture evolves. Checking in with your breath. And resetting the breath as you need if you notice any holding or hesitation. Feeling anchored, supported. Feeling the low back and the hamstrings release. Keeping the shoulders soft. Noticing in silence how the posture has evolved and where does the mind go. Drawing the attention back to the breath. Inhaling, slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Find a little gentle twist over the bent knee. Left palm finds the right thigh. Reach your right arm overhead, side bend to the left. Here, noticing if you'd like to come down to the knee with the head. Maybe capturing your foot today. Maybe you add on a prop and stay a little more upright. Maybe you take away a prop. And honoring the difference on this side, noticing that this side may feel very, very different than the first side. Honoring that, not wishing it to be any different, and feeling grateful for our abilities, and grateful to be where we are. Wherever you are in your variation, take that deep inhale and deep clearing exhale. Coming into quiet, personal inquiry, being and breathing. Noticing if you're squeezing, clenching, gripping anywhere, softening the grip, relaxing the face. And slowly we'll come on up. We'll send the right leg long for a wide-legged forward fold. An option to sit on top of a blanket or pillow. Elevating the pelvis here is a nice option, even if it's a very low prop underneath you. Just a little extra cushion for the sits bones and to help with any anterior tilt of the pelvis. If you sit a lot, this helps to neutralize the pelvis, having it elevated and having something in front of you to fold over at any height, and maybe something under the knees. If there is something under the knees, ensure it's of the same height, perhaps blocks or pillows, or one blanket rolled long. So the blanket you can have rolled to any height that feels good to you. Bolster maybe at an angle for the head, or down low for the heart and the head. We'll inhale, reach up, create space. Feel your long spine. Exhaling, fold with a flat back, hinging at your hips. Fingertips may come down first. Relaxing your neck, reaching the hands forward. Relax your shoulders. Making any adjustments you need, maybe sending the legs even wider. And maybe your prop comes forward. So checking in here, making those little last adjustments. So you may find a slow, steady release in the low back, the hamstrings. And eventually you'll feel the upper back, the mid back releasing as well. Feeling the hips release as well. And relaxing into it. If you're not using any props, it is a nice option to drop your elbows, interlace your fingers, and create a little shelf for your forehead. You may walk the elbows forward as you feel the low back releasing and space created in the body. And confident in our chosen variation. Letting this be a place of full body surrender. Open to receiving. Letting any movement, adjustment you make here be deliberate. Maybe you send the arms more forward or fold deeper as the body softens, as we feel expansion, increase in flexibility, never forcing, protecting our precious ligaments. Inhaling slowly, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Draw your knees in. Can find a little windshield wiping action if you like, palms by your hips, and just kind of let the knees fall left and right a few times. Little transitional movement for altar pose. Send the feet flat, knees tracking forward, toes tracking forward, palms down behind your hips, fingers facing forward. Press the hips up, drop your head back. Slowly lower the hips down, making our way to our back. Reach your hands forward, lower down one vertebrae at a time. And I'm scooting a little bit more forward, so I'm close to a wall. On your way down, once you feel that low back connect to the ground, upper back, mid back, send the legs long, point your toes, reach your hands overhead, big morning stretch. And we'll take some supine twists here, guiding the right knee into your chest, using your hands. And just for a moment, guide the right knee outside the right ribs. From here, you may go into your supine twist right away, sending right leg over the left. Shoulders stay grounded, and perhaps you place a block or a pillow bolster underneath that lifted leg. Feeling a little support here. And maybe the knee stays bent or the leg is straightened. Shoulders are grounded, relaxing your hands wherever feels good to you. Option to gaze over the opposite shoulder, sending your face to the right. And feeling this twist from the core. If you want a little more here, send your left heel towards your right hand, keeping the knee grounded. Relaxing into your variation. And with the season of spring in mind, as we are still in spring, You may feel this shape is similar to tree roots, twisted tree roots in the ground. And instead of soaking up water, here we soak up our breath and soak up stillness, letting this rest be a place of refuel, of nourishment. Observing in silence what comes up for you, acknowledging any thoughts that arise, and watching them pass without chasing. Slowly, we'll send the left heel towards the top of your space if you did find that knee bent. Rock your head back to face the ceiling or sky. And slowly, we'll send the right leg up and over, planting the right foot on the earth. Bump your hips back to center if you need. Send the right heel long. Gently guide the left knee into your chest. Using your hands, draw the thigh closer to your chest. Little gentle sway, rock side to side. Guiding just for a moment the left knee towards your left shoulder. From here, you may go into your supine twist right away. Or if you need, you can lower that left foot down and bump your hips over to the left, stacking left directly over right. And if the leg is bent, you might find a prop, pillow, block, bolster underneath the calf, a nice option. And perhaps the leg is straight, so up to you. Bend or keep the leg straight. And if you want a little more here, send the right heel towards your left or towards your left hand or towards the right glute. Getting into the quad, and perhaps the hand captures the foot, releasing any gripping, letting this be restful. Shoulders stay grounded here. If you feel the shoulder lifting off the ground, you might send that left leg a little further back. Relaxing into it. Letting go of any squeezing, gripping sensations, clenching sensations. Noticing if you're squeezing the quad, the hands, the shoulders, gently relaxing those places. Allowing yourself to relax just that extra ounce more anywhere you can. Do so now. And slowly we'll unravel from our twist. Bump your hips back to center if you need. Gently find that child's pose on your back. You'll have the shins into the chest, forearms over the shins, about 2 inches below your knees, palms to opposite elbows, shoulders stay grounded, maybe palms slide down the forearm, or relax at the wrists, drawing the shoulders into the earth, thighs into the belly, chin into the chest. A little bit of gripping here, feeling the weight of the body compressing. And with consistent practice of this shape, you may feel the full length of the spine flat to the earth one day. And slowly we will lower the feet down, coming into a supine butterfly. You're welcome to be elevated. So here, soles of the feet come together, knees out wide, and I'm just pivoting my body to show the shape. You can come up onto the elbows to bring props to lay over if you'd like. You can use any height here that feels good to you. A tall block for the head, a medium block for the shoulder blades, and perhaps you put a bolster on top of that, creating a little ramp. Bolster or blanket, any amount of cushioning. Pillow. Low back will come up to your bolster. Soles of the feet together, knees out wide. And then laying down on your chosen setup. You might decide to add on or take away. And a little cozy addition here for the feet to keep the soles of the feet anchored and just a little extra support. You may place a blanket long ways over the tops of the feet, using the ends underneath the ankles, and then pulling the ends of the blanket towards your hips, finding your way down. And so here I'm going to pivot my body one more time to just show this setup with the blanket over the tops of the feet, ends of the blanket towards your hips, and then you lay on back to your depth of comfort. Letting your shape feel like a cozy nest. Relaxing your hands by your sides or anywhere that feels good to you. Letting any adjustments you make be deliberate. Setting it up to 3. And listening to what the body has to share tonight. Relaxing here as though you're being held up by stars, that nothing beneath you is of any material but light. Feeling lighter and brighter with the release, and anchored and heavy all at once. Feeling what that does not serve you floating away where it can harm no one. Observing in silence as you hold this posture where the mind has drawn its attention, drawing attention back to the breath. And slowly, we'll reach the hands overhead. Let the arms dangle for a bit. And then drop the elbows down. Maybe the palms come down and tucking the chin into the chest, you can shift the weight to one elbow and the other. And we'll come all the way down to our back. So flat on the ground, coming into any final resting shape of your choosing. Some nice options can be to take a traditional Shavasana, legs long, arms long by your side. If you're near a wall, you're welcome to send legs up the wall. And remember, you can always use your props. Not enough props, no such thing in this practice. You can add as many as you like. And sending legs up the wall, if you're making that as your final resting shape, you'll pivot your body towards the wall, coming onto your back, pivot so the lower body faces the wall, low back sealed to the ground, sending the legs straight up. And to get as close to the wall as possible, you might use your elbows to lift your hips, just a little squeeze, and a little snuggle, a little walk towards the wall, sliding the legs down the wall. If you have a windowsill like me, you might have a little distance between the wall and the legs, but ensuring that low back is sealed to the ground. Legs straight up here, relaxing. And feeling the blood flow downward. You're also able to improvise the wall with the use of a chair, bringing the calves on top of where you may sit, or a bed or a couch. And just relaxing. Any other shape you may have taken, get out those last wiggles, dropping into stillness. Taking a deep breath in, and a deep, clearing, audible exhale. These next few minutes are yours in silence, and my voice will gently guide you out. Please enjoy this active rest, Shavasana. Slowly, if you are ready to move on with your night, find some wiggles in the fingers and wiggles in the toes. And if you'd rather, you're welcome to stay just as you are. And gently, we'll make our way to one side if you're moving on, coming to find a deep bend in the knees, rolling to either side, using your arm as a pillow or an actual pillow supporting the head. Laying on one side in a fetal shape is a symbol of rebirth from our practice into our day. Allow yourself to feel held, supported, nourished. Noticing any change of sensation throughout the body, the head space, and the breath. You are welcome to stay here on your side as well, further resting. Or if you're truly ready to move on, with soft eyes and without hurry, begin to press yourself up with your hands, coming to a comfortable seat, letting yourself land. Feeling the sits bones rooted. Breathing naturally here. Rolling the shoulders slightly back. Take a deep inhale, fill up. And deep, clearing, audible exhale. Inhaling, send hands up overhead, reach for what you want. Exhale, hands to heart center, pulling in what you're calling in to your heart space. Anjali Mudra. Reflecting on what we're calling in. Reflecting on anything that came up for you during practice. Adding on any other thoughts or dedications. Taking a moment. Wrapping up our thoughts. Thank you for sharing your practice with me, showing up for yourself. It was an honor to serve you. Together we bow. Namaste. Thank you all so much, whether you're live or tuning in later from the recording. Always a pleasure. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, feedback in the chat, and I'll check the chat now. Oh, thank you. I see the comments about the feet stretches. And if the socks make it hard to see the feet, I do apologize. The yin practice is usually a little colder, and I often do wear socks. So just checking in with the chat. Thank you so much for being here and practicing with me. And thank you for letting me know that the socks made it hard to see the feet. Have a fantastic night.